When PGA champion Scottie Scheffler pulled into a quiet parking lot, the last thing he expected was his car breaking down. But before we dive in, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Frustrated, he checked his phone. No signal. Just as panic set in, the back door of a nearby diner swung open. A waitress stepped outside for a break and locked eyes with him. Lisa Carter didn't hesitate. She rushed over to help. The evening air was thick with the smell of sizzling burgers and freshly brewed coffee as Lisa Carter stepped outside the back entrance of Denny's diner, stretching her sore arms. It had been a long shift. Rude customers, short-staffed chaos, and a manager who seemed to enjoy barking orders more than actually helping. She just needed 5 minutes of quiet. But the moment her eyes landed on the man standing next to a luxury SUV with the hood popped open, she froze. Even in the dim glow of the parking lot lights, she recognized him instantly. Scottie Scheffler. Lisa had never been a golf fan, but even she knew his face, the man who had dominated the Masters, the golden boy of the PGA. And right now, he looked completely stranded. Scottie ran a hand through his hair, clearly frustrated. He tapped his phone screen again. Still no signal. Lisa didn't think. She just moved. You okay?" she asked, stepping closer. Scottie turned, his eyes flickering with surprise before softening. "Not really. Battery's dead and I can't get a tow out here." Lisa glanced back at the diner. Her break was almost over, but something about leaving him standing there, helpless, didn't sit right with her. "Give me a sec," she said, jogging inside. Her coworker, Jake, was wiping down the counter when she burst in. "Hey, do we still have those jumper cables in the back?" "Yeah, why?" "Scottie Scheffler's car is dead outside." Jake's eyes went wide. "Wait, the golfer? Here?" "Long story. Just grab them." Minutes later, Lisa was back outside hooking the cables to her beat-up Toyota while Scottie held the other ends, following her lead. "You do this often?" he asked, amusement creeping into his voice. "More than I'd like," she smirked. A spark. The engine roared to life. Scottie let out a breath of relief. "You just saved my night," Lisa brushed off her hands. "All in a day's work." He pulled out his wallet, but she shook her head. "I don't need your money." That seemed to throw him off. "Then how do I repay you?" Lisa shrugged. "Just win another tournament, I guess." Scottie grinned. "I'll do my best." As Lisa turned back toward the diner, her heart still racing, she had no idea that this one act of kindness was about to cost her everything. Inside, her manager stood at the kitchen doorway, arms crossed, eyes burning with fury. "Lisa, my office, now!" Lisa's stomach twisted. Something was wrong. She took a step forward, then stopped. From the break room, she could already hear whispers. Co-workers exchanging glances. Her name muttered under hushed breaths. A chill ran down her spine. What was happening? Lisa's hands felt clammy as she stepped into her manager's office. The room smelled like stale coffee and cheap air freshener. But what made her stomach tighten was the way Rick, her manager, sat behind his desk, arms crossed, jaw clenched, eyes filled with barely contained rage. She didn't even have time to sit down before he spoke. "What the hell were you doing outside?" Lisa blinked. "Helping someone." Rick let out a sharp, humorless laugh. "Helping someone? You walked out in the middle of your shift. Customers were waiting. Orders were backed up, and you just... What? Decided to play mechanic?" Lisa clenched her fists. "I was on my break." "You were still on the clock." She knew that wasn't true. She had exactly 5 minutes left when she stepped outside. But arguing with Rick was like trying to stop a freight train with a paperclip. "Look," she sighed, trying to stay calm. "I didn't think it would be a big deal. His car was dead, and His?" Rick narrowed his eyes. "Who's his?" Lisa hesitated. Rick smirked. "Oh, I know exactly who you were with. Don't think I didn't see it." He leaned back in his chair, tapping his pen against the desk. "Scottie Scheffler. Big shot golfer. Rich as hell." He scoffed. "Let me guess. He promised you something? A big tip? Maybe a job at one of his fancy country clubs?" Lisa's face burned. "It wasn't like that." Rick shook his head. "You don't get it, do you? This place runs on teamwork. While you were outside, your team was drowning. And I don't tolerate selfish employees." Lisa felt her stomach drop. "Are you seriously—" "You're fired." The words hit like a punch to the gut. "You what?" Rick smirked again, enjoying her shock. "You heard me. Pack your stuff and get out." Lisa's hands trembled. "Rick, come on. This is insane. I've worked here for 2 years. I show up on time, I cover shifts, and now you don't work here at all." Her mouth opened, but no words came out. Rick reached into his desk and slapped a final paycheck onto the surface. "You can pick up your last tips from the register. Now get out before I have security escort you." Lisa felt the walls closing in. This couldn't be real. This had to be some kind of joke. She turned toward the break room, every step feeling heavier than the last. Whispers. Stares. Her coworkers avoided her gaze. Even Jake, the one who helped her find the jumper cables, pretended to be busy wiping down the counter. She wanted to scream. Instead, she grabbed her bag, shoved her apron inside, and forced herself toward the exit. Her hand was on the door handle when, bzzz, her phone vibrated in her pocket. Lisa ignored it, probably some stupid spam message. Then it buzzed again, and again, and again. With shaking hands, she pulled it out. One unread message. The sender's name made her knees go weak. Scottie Scheffler. Her heart pounded as she stared at the screen. Why was he texting her? And more importantly, how did he even get her number? Lisa's pulse hammered as she stared at her phone screen. Scottie Scheffler. Her fingers trembled as she tapped the notification. A message. A simple request. He wanted her to call him. She swallowed hard. How did he even know? The diner's door slammed shut behind her as she stumbled into the parking lot, her mind racing. Had someone told him? Was this a prank? She hesitated. Then, with a deep breath, she pressed call. The line barely rang once before he picked up. His voice was calm but firm. He asked if she was okay, if she knew what was happening. Lisa let out a shaky breath. "Not really. How do you know about this?" Scottie sighed. His tone was serious. "It's everywhere." Lisa frowned. "What do you mean?" Then he said something that made her stomach twist. "You're all over the internet." Lisa froze. Her mind struggled to process his words. All over the internet? What was he talking about? Scottie continued. "Someone filmed you helping me last night. The video went viral. And then..." He hesitated. "Well, then people found out you got fired." Lisa's chest tightened. "Wait, people know?" She pulled out her phone, her fingers moving on instinct as she opened Twitter. Her name was trending. A wave of panic hit her as she scrolled through post after post. The video had exploded overnight. Thousands of comments. Thousands of angry strangers demanding answers. Lisa's heart raced. How was this happening? She clicked on the video. It showed her in the parking lot, jumper cables in hand, helping Scottie start his car. The caption beneath it was blunt and damning. Her breath caught as she read through the responses. People were furious. Lisa felt dizzy. This was bigger than she thought. Scottie's voice cut through the chaos in her mind. "Lisa, listen, I want to help. Can you meet me?" She hesitated. Her entire life had just flipped upside down. And now Scottie Scheffler wanted to meet? She wasn't sure what to say. Scottie must have sensed her hesitation. "I get it. This is a lot, but you didn't deserve this. Just meet me. I promise I'm not going to let this slide." Lisa swallowed hard. Meet Scottie Scheffler? After the worst day of her life? She glanced back at the diner through the glass doors. Inside, her former coworkers were watching her. Some looked guilty. Others looked like they were waiting for her to break down. A fire lit in her chest. No, she wasn't going to break. She clenched her jaw, wiped away the tears threatening to fall, and hailed a cab. She had nothing left to lose, and she had no idea that her life was about to change forever. Lisa sat in the back of the cab, gripping her phone like a lifeline. The city lights blurred past the window, but she barely noticed. Her entire life had changed overnight. She refreshed Twitter. Thousands of comments, thousands of strangers fighting in her defense. People weren't just mad, they were demanding action. "Denny's needs to fix this now." Boycotting until Lisa gets her job back? Who's with me? Somebody hire this woman already. Lisa's head spun. This wasn't just some local drama anymore. She had gone viral. A notification popped up. A journalist wanted an interview. Another message, someone from a major restaurant chain offering her a job. Was this real life? The cab pulled up to the Four Seasons downtown, and for a moment Lisa hesitated. What was she doing here? She had never stepped foot in a place like this. Polished marble floors, chandeliers, doormen in crisp suits. It was the kind of place people like her only saw in movies. But before she could second-guess herself, the doors swung open. Scottie Scheffler was already waiting in the lobby. Lisa took a breath and stepped inside. Scottie stood up the moment he saw her. "Lisa," he said, walking over, "I'm really glad you came." For a second, Lisa wasn't sure what to say. She was standing in front of a PGA champion like it was just another Tuesday. He must have noticed her hesitation because he gave her a small, reassuring smile. Come on, let's talk somewhere private. They moved to a quiet lounge area, away from the murmurs of other guests who were starting to recognize Scottie. Lisa sat across from him, still gripping her phone. She felt out of place, overwhelmed. Scottie leaned forward. I know this has been a crazy 24 hours for you. Lisa let out a dry laugh. Understatement of the year. He nodded. I wanted to meet because I don't think this is right. What happened to you? It's messed up. Lisa sighed. I appreciate that, but what can I do? It's not like I can walk in there and demand my job back. Scottie's expression hardened. You shouldn't even want that job back. Lisa blinked. Excuse me? You deserve better, he said simply. Lisa scoffed. Scottie, I appreciate it, I do. But this is my reality. I don't have a fancy golf career. I don't have people fighting for me every day. Scottie shook his head. Lisa, you do now. He pulled out his phone, scrolling through messages. Do you know how many people are reaching out because of this? Brands, restaurants, even sports organizations. People want to help you. Lisa stared at him. Help me how? Scottie leaned back. I don't know yet, but I promise you this. Denny's is going to regret this decision. Before Lisa could respond, her phone buzzed violently in her hand. She looked down. A new email. Her breath caught in her throat. It was from Denny's corporate office. The subject line made her stomach drop. Urgent. Employment status. Reconsideration. Lisa's hands trembled as she clicked it open. Her eyes scanned the message. They wanted to talk. Immediately. Lisa looked up at Scottie, her heart racing. What the hell is happening? Scottie smiled. You're winning. Lisa's heart pounded as she stared at the email. Denny's corporate office. Reconsidering her employment. Just 24 hours ago, they hadn't cared. But now? Now they were panicking. Her mind raced. Did they really want to fix this? Or were they just doing damage control? Scottie leaned forward. What does it say? Lisa took a shaky breath and read aloud. Dear Ms. Carter, due to recent developments, we would like to discuss your employment status and potential reinstatement. Please contact us as soon as possible to arrange a meeting. Scottie's expression darkened. Let me guess. They're only doing this because of the backlash. Lisa swallowed hard. He was right. If people hadn't called them out, they would have never cared. Her fingers tightened around her phone. She wasn't just some PR problem they could sweep under the rug. Scottie crossed his arms. What do you want to do? Lisa hesitated. Part of her wanted to tell them off, to make them regret ever firing her. But another part of her needed stability, needed a paycheck. She took a deep breath. I want to hear what they have to say. Scottie nodded. Then let's make sure they take you seriously. 2 hours later, Lisa sat in a video call with Denny's corporate representatives. 3 stiff-looking executives filled the screen, their smiles forced. Lisa, thank you for meeting with us, one of them began. We want to clear up any misunderstandings. Lisa clenched her jaw. Misunderstanding? She folded her arms. I don't think there was any misunderstanding. I was fired for helping someone. The executives exchanged glances. We regret how the situation unfolded, another one said, carefully choosing his words. Given the public's reaction, we'd like to offer you your position back. Lisa's stomach twisted. They weren't sorry. They were scared. And if I say no? She challenged. One of the men shifted uncomfortably. We hope you'll consider. We value our employees and don't want this to affect your future in the company. Lisa's fists clenched under the table. This wasn't about fixing things. This was a threat. If she refused, they'd make sure no other restaurant hired her. Lisa glanced at Scottie, who was sitting nearby, listening. He leaned closer and whispered, They need you more than you need them. And just like that, it hit her. She had the power now, not them. Lisa straightened her back, her voice firm. I'm not interested in coming back. The executives blinked. Excuse me? You didn't value me when I worked there. You only care now because the internet is mad at you. Silence. Lisa let out a breath. I deserve better. One of the executives sighed. We understand your frustration. Perhaps we could offer a financial incentive? Lisa frowned. Are you trying to buy me off? The tension thickened. That's exactly what they were doing. Scottie smirked. Lisa, you don't have to settle. You have options. The executives exchanged nervous glances. They knew. They had lost. Lisa took one last look at them and closed the laptop. She had made her decision. Scottie grinned. Now that was badass. Lisa exhaled, a slow smile forming. For the first time in years, she felt free. Lisa shut her laptop and exhaled. It was over. She had walked away, not just from her old job, but from the people who had never valued her in the first place. For the first time in years, she felt free. Scottie leaned back, arms crossed, a smirk tugging at the corner of his lips. That was impressive. Lisa let out a shaky laugh. I can't believe I just did that, Scottie shrugged. Believe it. You stood up for yourself. Lisa's phone buzzed again. She half expected another desperate message from Denny's, but instead, it was something else entirely. A job offer. Not just any job. A management position at an upscale restaurant in the city. A place that would actually pay her what she was worth. Her hands trembled as she scrolled through the message. Salary, benefits, a fresh start. She looked up at Scottie, still in shock. This is real. Scottie grinned. Told you. People are paying attention. Lisa swallowed hard. 1 day ago, she was just another waitress struggling to get by. Now, her name had become a symbol of standing up to injustice. She had a choice, and for the first time in a long time, she chose herself. Lisa smiled. I think I just landed the job of my dreams. Scottie raised his glass of water in a toast. To new beginnings. Lisa clinked her glass against his, knowing deep down that her life would never be the same again.